Welcome back to another Hearts of Iron 4 developer diary. Now, I just want to say I have not actually read through this yet. This is by far the most exciting developer diary I have seen. I just woke up and I hopped on here to see what they were talking about, and by the title of this video and right here you can see that they are adding armored cars to Hearts of Iron 4. Now, this could mean a lot of things. I mean, first off, obviously we know they're adding armored cars, but second off, this might have some other stuff too, because the new Horsey Boys is titled, so maybe they're changing up some different stuff. So let's go ahead and read and see what it is they are updating. But first off, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you like Hearts of Iron 4 videos. And second off, I also retweet this the other day on my Twitter. And if you want to join my Discord, all that stuff is down there in the description below if you want to join my Discord to get early access to videos and stuff like that sometimes. And also follow me on Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. So hi everyone, and welcome to another Hearts of Iron 4, or another dev diary. The team is working hard at PDX-Con. That's currently the Paradox event thing. I think it's in Berlin this year. Unfortunately, I can't afford to go, but the PDX-Con that is coming up next week, and we're looking forward to pretzels, beer, and of course, meeting you guys. Today we'll be talking about armored cars. I have often been asked why Hearts of Iron 4 doesn't have them, and today we are going to find out why now is the time. So that's kind of interesting. But anyway, resistance suppression. Ooh, so part of the resistance we are adding, part of the reason we are finally adding armored cars is so they can go hand in hand with resistance suppression. Since its inception, the armored car has been a useful tool against lightly armed and armed opponents. As explained previously, garrisons will work as a shield against resistance activity. If adequate, the garrison will absorb the vast amount of resistance attacks that would otherwise sabotage industry or resource extraction. Armored cars will be specifically suited for this role, and they will give damage to and reduction to attacks made by the resistance. So apparently the main reason they're adding them in now is actually to work against resistance, so don't expect too many good combat reasons to do it. Maybe for like recon and stuff like that, I would kind of assume would be one of them. Excuse me again. In addition to being more resilient and preserving manpower, armored cars will come with a higher suppression stat and better ratio of suppression to deployed manpower. Armored cars will generally not be as productive as light tanks, but they will have a great amount of manpower protection for their cost. So that's going to be really cool. And right here in this little thumbnail, the first support slot is Recon, armored Recon. Oops, my phone, I forgot to turn that off. So as you can tell in this picture here, here's what I'm thinking is going to be a huge thing with them. I think they're going to be able to be used as frontline troops like you can see right here on this side, but also maybe there will be different variants you can add into support columns, like support recon motorized maybe later on, maybe motorcycles and, you know, jeeps and stuff like that. Yeah, I know people can throw some jeep stuff on armored cars maybe. But it'd be kind of cool if this will be a new version of Recon, which means they might be revamping Recon and giving it, you know, a new type of way it works. Because currently Recon is kind of broken and doesn't do much. Let's look in this template here really quick. Yeah, Reconnaissance 2. And I don't know the exact number of just the base Recon, but as you can tell right here, this is giving some amount of reconnaissance to the template. So that actually does work as a Recon armored vehicle. So that's going to be really cool, and I can't really see much else. Armored car looks like it's going to require about 144 men, but that's obviously able to be changed. Armor, it looks like they do add a little bit of armor to templates as well, so 7.1. So this might give you enough of a reason for people to have to supply anti-tank weapons more often, because if someone doesn't have enough piercing against a template that's attacking them, unless they have a lot of artillery, you know, they usually do lose and get some damage. And also it looks like it upgrades the hardness as well. I'm just looking down here at this little list. Hardness. Actually, I think it's just right here. I don't think there is one for hardness itself. But anyway, back to this. Okay, so all of these things combined to make armored cars a good option for resistance suppression with manpower is more of a concern than some extra production costs. Horses will still have an edge when it comes to suppression versus production cost. However, hardness to prevent losses, high suppression value, cheap production compared to other armored vehicles, higher cost still than just Horsey Boys. So Maybe they're gonna add something in, since they're specifically mentioning higher costs still than horsey boys. Maybe they're gonna be possibly making a production requirement and maybe adding horses is something you have to make later on, maybe with, I don't know, steel or tungsten or something like that for horse divisions, maybe. I don't know, but it would be kind of interesting to see if they did something funny like that. Or maybe added a new resource. I doubt that they would, but you never know. Maybe grain. Alright, so main combat role. Fighting on the front lines as the main battle force is not a typical role for an armored car. In Hearts of Iron 4, it will be no different. In most situations, the armored car will be outclassed or simply not appropriate for the terrain. However, in a few cases, armored cars should work fairly well as main battle units. Sorry, I'm just like kind of reading some over this, and I literally just woke up and it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So, in World War II, armored cars saw a good deal of combat in deserts in North Africa and the Middle East. Their decreased supply needs, ability to move quickly in desert environments, and excellent capability in fighting poorly equipped enemies made them perform rather well in those theaters. In Hearts of Iron 4, armored cars will work similarly. Okay, I can't say it. These will provide increased protection and breakthrough over, say, motorized or infantry while coming cheaper than light tanks. They will also be the fastest land units in the game in the right terrain. So, wait a minute, what's their speed? Okay, it says right here 12 kilometers per hour, but I'm kind of excited to see later on what the speed actually is, because this 12 kilometers per hour, that's motorized. And a template, for those people who did not know, a template will go the speed of the slowest unit. So that means the slowest unit in the game is this motorized right here. So maybe if they're going to be able to be so fast, they will have some level of organization with them so they can be their own kind of templates, but also at the same time, maybe we'll be able to upgrade the speed of motorized somehow. I don't know, maybe. It's a possibility, but it will be rather interesting to see if that is something that will get changed in a later time, but we'll see. Let's see, didn't we just read that? Yeah, we did. Yeah, in the right terrain, these facts should make them dangerous opponents in secondary and tertiary theaters of combat, I think. I don't know. Alright, ooh, we have some pictures. Okay, cool. Oh, a Puma and an STKFZ223, I think. What's the name? I don't know. Alright. Combat Intel. We have split the Recon support company into several now, so that you can be tailored to the division type you have. And the speed it needs to move now because of the speed of the Recon company will be limiting the whole division. Meaning that if your scout or your trucks or cavalry need to move at the cavalry speed. Oh, okay, this is a huge change. Okay, if I'm reading this right, we have split the Recon company into several now so that it can be tailored to the division type you have. And the speed it needs to move at, because now the speed of the Recon company will be limiting the whole division. Okay, so what this possibly means. Okay, this can mean a lot of things. First off, this might mean that any support company you have now, like support artillery, support AA, support, anti-tank weapons, that might actually slow the entire division down. Meaning it would be a bad idea to add support AA or support artillery into a armored tank division now, because it will slow the whole thing down. So this is going to be kind of interesting to see if that's what they really do and implement. So, meaning that if your scout trucks if you scout your trucks with cavalry, they will need to move at the cavalry speed. So now they have cavalry recon detachments, regular horsey boys that are used to cheap but not that fast. Motorized Recon Company, motorized, so Jeeps and light vehicles, but wait, Jeeps? Ooh, we might be getting actual Jeeps and stuff, that'll be kind of cool. Light Armored Recon Company, which means armored cars, and then Armored Recon Company, it's light tanks, so yeah, it's a possibility that the whole thing might get slowed down based on the size of the division, but armored cars is a good sweet spot of capability, speed, and armor, while the light tanks help keep your hardness and armor up in tougher divisions. Recon companies give you an edge when picking tactics in combat, and that remains the same. We have, on the other hand, been rebalancing tactics to make recon worthwhile, or more worthwhile. Tactics are now re-rolled twice as often, and we have lowered the frequency of certain phases, like close combat, quite a bit, unless fighting in urban terrains. Recon companies now also do one more thing. They let you generate more intel in combat. More intel, you say? What is that? As part of this update, we'll be redoing how intel works. Oh, this is going to be awesome. But we will be going into that going into that in detail in the future. Sorry, like I said, I just woke up and I'm still pretty tired, but I was so excited about this. I just wanted to read it, and I've been up for a little while now, and it takes several hours for me to like actually get woke up. For now, all I can say is there will be several ways to acquire intel where fighting is won, and that relative intel will be replacing the straight-up combat bonus from having crypto techs. Armored cars look really cool, and here are some renders from the models you enjoy. Before we look at all those, let's just say this. So, it looks like encryption and decryption are not going to be the only way to gain, intel. Let's just say it, intel. So they might be reworking it, like Recon will add it. Having airplane recon could be a possible thing they're going to add with this update, or something later on is what it sounds like they're talking about. So let's go ahead and check these out. So as for Germany, I can obviously tell. Like I said, this is an SDKFZ. I think it's 227 or 222. This one over here for the Soviets, I have no idea. This right here is a Puma. And it looks like the flags in the bottom left are the country, the render in the top right is the country's actual render, and the flag in the bottom left is that render's, render. So for Italy, I have no idea what this is. Soviets, I know I've seen these before. France, I know I've seen these before, no idea. But America, it looks like here we have the really, really old Recon car. I think this was actually World War I, and then we have an M8 Greyhound. Japan, I don't know what these are here. It looks like the UK, okay, actually for the UK, I know what these are. This is the one from Battlefield 1, and this is from Battlefield 1. So I don't really know the names of them specifically. But for this country here, I think this is just going to be the generic models for them. So we'll see. Anyway, so here's what it looks like there will be researching for. And I'm already noticing the Puma. This is the German one, obviously. And it looks really cool because over here there's some type of variant you'll be able to make, it looks like already. So let's see. Armored cars will be coming with the DLC, while basic intel changes in the other Recon companies are available for all with the Husky update. Next week is PDX.com. We're also moving offices, so set my alarm clock on maximum chaos. Now, unfortunately, this is what this is saying. Armored cars will be coming with the DLC, while basic intel changes in other Recon companies are available for all those with the Husky update. So here's what this means. I can't 100% say for sure, but what it sounds like to me is actually having armored cars and being able to place them in their own divisions, like maybe adding 2 or 3 armored cars to a template and stuff like that. You're going to have the Husky update to do that. However, the changes of intel, along with the Recon companies that you can get for like cavalry, tanks, and stuff like that, that will be for free as long as you simply update your game. So having armored Recon companies themselves, like, the armored cars are going to be part of this DLC that come out that you will have to pay for if you want armored cars. However, you will still be able to do light recon, armored tanks, I believe, cavalry, and stuff like that is what it sounds like here. So anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this little video, and tell me down below what you guys think if you're excited about the new update. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Stay awesome.